What's going on, guys? I am Toxic Jordan. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be taking down the final stage of the anniversary battle, the 10th anniversary part 2 stage here. And we are going to be completing the Realm of Gods mission. So we have kind of a pseudo Universe Survival Saga team. Obviously a couple of other units thrown in there alongside them. So yeah, this is what our team build is looking like. The thing that I hate the most about it is the leader. But obviously, you know, getting that generic Realm of Gods lead is helpful, just so that we can have all of the strongest units available on the category all under one little umbrella there. Because obviously, if we were to go with just a Universe Survival Saga build, we would have been forced to throw off the LR Gods, which is the biggest hit, and then also, you know, the Beerus and stuff, so... yeah, so this is how we're going to run it for now. We'll see if we can make this work. I'm going to go right in using support memories. I do still want to try and no item this. At this point, I've already completed the Corroded Body and Mind mission. We were not able to no item with that mission, but we are going to have to no item with one of these teams, hopefully, to be able to earn the silver equips here. But yeah, so for this one, we're just going to be going for the gold equips for the Goku Frieza and for the Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and jump in, see, and then see how we can do here. So yeah, I am bringing a Whis along just in case things get a little bit dicey. Maybe we would want to use the Whis, but that is not the plan, right? The plan is to try and no item this. We're going to go into the Super Saiyan 3 Goku stage. We got a little bit of practice on this fight when we were trying to Corroded Body and Mind mission. This was the original fight that we were attempting to take on of the three. So I think this team is going to have a little bit better of a time. Obviously, it is a stronger team than the Corroded Body and Mind team, so I can't imagine that things are going to be quite as detrimental here. Okay, yeah. I don't think there's going to be too much thinking to do super early on in this. Should be quite easy for us to figure out the answers of what to do with these units. Obviously, I've used a lot of these units a ton, so I'm very familiar with their kits. I know, you know, where they're strongest, where they're weakest, and things like that. For the most part. Obviously, I don't have them fully memorized, but... yeah, it's just a little bit easier having spent, you know, an hour in this fight against, with Corroded Body and Minds, kind of learning exactly how powerful the enemy is and stuff. I can imagine we're not going to have too much trouble with the Universe Survival Saga build here, right? This first phase wasn't too tough against even the Corroded Body and Mind builds. Okay, yeah, there we go, and we're already double-digit tanking. That is a good sign. Okay, so I'm looking forward to that next rotation there, and I'm seeing we have the other tech UI, which I guess it is a good thing that both of our tech UIs came out early, so we can try and get that domain activated. We are going to be able to get the friend UI under his domain on turn 5, which will be really, really helpful for our damage output. And then, yeah, and honestly, it's looking like we might be on the final phase by that point, which he'll have type advantage against, so that'll be good. Yeah, considering it's turn 1 and we've already gotten more than halfway through this guy's HP pool, it's a pretty solid chance that by turn 5 we will be on the final phase, right? Okay, so I think ideally I would like to keep the gods on rotation. How do they link up with Jiren? Not super well. Okay, I guess we'll just run the rotation like this for now then. This should be fine. Yeah, let's just prioritize giving them all the orbs we can. We want to make sure that they can build themselves up as much as possible. Because obviously they're infinitely stacking while they're in base right here. And then we'll get some same type orbs there for the Dokkan gauge. Then we can just grab these for Jiren and move on. So yeah, if Jiren is going to be a main rotation unit, probably not on this rotation. I think overall our rotations were really bad. Because, like, it would have been nice to have the gods next to the Int Evolution Blue Vegeta. I think they would have linked up the best. We didn't get any... We have seen no UI Gokus linked together yet at all, either. So, yeah, not the best. But it's alright. We've got just so much utility. All of these characters have active skills. Some of them have revives. Jiren's got the standby. We've got the domain with our tech UIs, right? So like there's just a lot of stuff to go around. I don't think it's really going to make too much of a difference who our like main rotation units are, right? I guess the one thing that we could have considered here is by rotating off the gods on turn 1, and then what that would lead to is their return on turn 4, where we could immediately transform them and give them that next turn of safety, right? But they're just not going to need it. They did like so many super attacks here. I imagine by the next time they come back, they're already going to be over like 1,000,000 defense, and they really won't need that extra protection that they would get from the transformation, right? So yeah, probably won't be the worst thing. We'll see though. We'll see. Okay, so we already have the revive available for the Int Evolution Blue. We're going to rotate him off. Yeah, because I do want to make sure that on turn 5 we keep this tech UI around, and then obviously, so he can get his transformation on turn 5, and then obviously we want to keep AGL UI up front, because that is the best slot 1 unit in the game. Definitely want to rely on him here. Okay, and then worst comes to worst, in case anything horrible happens on this rotation, we do have the revive up, so we're going to be safe. And then now for the remainder of the fight, any turns that Evolution Blue Vegeta is around, we will just have the free revive, right? So, not too bad, not too bad. Okay, awesome. Starting out with the crits is very good. Again, we do want to try and do as much damage as possible, because the most ideal situation would be on turn 5. Nice, we get the triple super attack turn 2. That's really good. Triple super, triple crit. You love to see that. But yeah, like the most ideal way for it to work out would be if we're starting the next fight on turn 5. That way we can proc the domain right away, right? Because there is a 0 cooldown on the super attack that we're going to be seeing on the next phase. So having that domain up and you know, just having the tech UI that's going to be able to fully, freely tank and dodge everything will be really nice, because he'll still be right next to the AGL UI. So yeah, that'll be a very heavily damaging rotation, assuming we can get there in time, right? And that will also be a big benefit for the potential for us to no-item the stage, right? Oh, we got hit by that? That's unfortunate. We didn't actually take as much damage as I assumed we were going to, though, so I'm okay with that. I honestly thought we were about to get KO'd from that and then see the revive proc. Okay, so I guess the good part about that is that now that we're below 77%, we have access to the AGL UI revive. The bad part about that, both of the units that proc the revive are here right now, which means next turn we're not going to have that protection, but we do still have the HP loss. So that could hurt us in the long run. We'll see. Okay, we are looking like we're on track, though, to be able to... Oh, nice. Okay, forgot about this. So we had the Beerus Rage mode because we went below the 60% HP mark, right? Okay, so with that, now we're looking really, really solid here. Let's see. I want to try not to... Because if I select all these orbs, then the board isn't going to look that great coming up here. I would rather save all those rainbow orbs for this upcoming rotation. So yeah, I think we'll just go ahead and not prioritize getting any damage with Beerus here in the Rage mode. Obviously, he's still doing super attacks with each of these attacks that he does anyway, but prioritizing a good key sphere selection for the LR Gods is going to be much more beneficial for us, right? They're going to do massive amounts of damage on this upcoming rotation. Alright, and even so, we still are doing a little bit of chip damage here with Beerus. Nice, getting lots of additional attacks too. That is quite funny. Okay. Obviously, the turn could have looked a little bit better had we, Wow, he got an additional super on every single slot. That was 6 super attacks in a row. That was almost a full bar of HP, actually. That was pretty good. That was pretty good from him. Okay, and then the other helpful thing would be if the super attack launches. There it is. Okay, cool. So now we know we're not going to have to worry about a super attack on this next rotation, so our measly amount of HP is not going to be a threat, right? Okay, so it is turn 4 here. We can transform with the LR Gods. There's really no reason not... Well, there is a reason not to. There is a reason not to. So, remember that when we transform them, the moment we transform them, they are going to have 77% damage reduction. They only get that for the one turn. So I ideally would like to save that for the final phase of the fight, just to make sure they have that extra layer of protection in that final phase. And also, by not transforming them, that means we're going to get one more turn of attack and defense raises here with them before we go into the transformed state. So I think this is probably the right answer, especially because we know that the super attack has already been launched for the turn, so we know we're only dealing with normals. So we're going to survive. So yeah, I think we should just select all these orbs and continue on like this. And then we're still below 77%, which is nice for the potential to revive on the next turn, right? And then Vegeta is going to come back on the following turn after that. So we're going to have to we're basically going to have chain revivals for the rest of the fight at this point. So yeah, we're looking pretty solid to be able to do the no item run here. Yeah, we're looking pretty good for that. We have already mathematically survived this turn. And in fact, if we get lucky with the amount of damage we do here, then we might even just be moving on to the next phase on turn 5 as planned. So let's see. It's going to take a little bit, though, because we didn't transform with the gods, so they're not going to be doing quite as much damage here. And then this is kind of like a bad turn for Lynx, because we don't have Tech UI linked up with anybody else from Universe Survival Saga that's going to allow him to do a lot of damage and stuff. So we might not make it to that final phase here. Oof. Yeah, that's the only thing. Okay, they did provide a healthy amount of damage, but yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. He's still got those couple bars of HP left. I don't think we're going to be able to deal out quite enough damage here. This is my Tech UI. He's not rainbowed, so he's not going to be hitting quite as hard. I don't think he's got like barely any chance to crit because he's built defensively. Oh, and even with that, we do crit. I don't know. I suppose it's not impossible that we KO here, but it's gonna take something. Yeah, Beerus is gonna have to do like an entire bar of HP on his own. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Probably not. Let's see. He's at 10 million. Again, if we get lucky with the crits and stuff, maybe. Yeah, he did like what, a third of a bar of HP with that. Another 10 million. Yeah, it's not gonna be enough. Man. Okay, well. Oh. Okay, hold on. This is interesting. So, we have access to the Tech UI transformation here. But we might not have to use it yet. Because we have the AGL UI active skill. So if we launch the AGL UI active skill here, finishing off the phase, then we can save the Jiren standby for when he returns. We can proc the domain on the next rotation with the other UI Goku, still giving us access to it on the first turn of that final phase. So yeah, let's do that. Let's just hope this KOs. That's the only way things could go wrong, is if this does not KO. Okay, but it being a guaranteed crit, that was likely to happen, right? Okay, so there we go. Now we're moving on to the final phase. Okay, we still have our revive up. And now we've got our revive chains going, right? Okay, no time like the present to launch this active skill. Since it's the final phase, we just got to do as much damage as possible. So let's go ahead and throw that out immediately. Cool. Oh, I suppose I should have put the domain up before to do a little extra damage. No big deal. I'm not going to waste the time resetting the app for that. It'll be fine. Alright. And then we'll get him transformed. So now we've got the domain up. The only scary thing about the domain is I believe it's going to make the enemy hit harder as well, right? Let me read what it does. Yeah, so superclass enemies and allies get 15%. So this is going to affect the enemy we're facing against too. And then an additional 15% attack for Realm of Gods characters, and then, obviously cancels dodge canceling, which isn't a big deal. As this phase does not have dodge canceling, right? Okay, let's see. So, okay, obviously we want to get the LR Gods out as well. We're going to do their transformation. We can't use their active skill just yet because we're above 50% HP. So that was a little bit suckish of when the last time we selected orbs with them. We healed up a bunch, which is about to happen again, actually. Oh, actually, though, we do need to be conscientious about staying below 77%. So maybe we should not select same type orbs with them. Especially, yeah, they'll give us a full heal. Their HP is so... or their defense is so high. And then the other thing that I'm thinking about is with running the rotation this way, we are about to rotate off the blue Vegeta, which means our revive capability would go away. I'm thinking we're about to do so much damage here that it's not going to matter. So yeah, let's go ahead and keep the rotation like this. And then... Okay, as we just discussed, we don't want to select same type orbs with the LR Gods. They don't have high enough defense. Yeah, we're still going to be handedly below that 77%. Let's see. Ooh, here they can get 4 rainbow orbs, which is really good for their dodge chance. So that's going to be helpful. And then... on the next rotation, we have more tech characters coming up. AGL characters. Okay, I guess we grab all these then. Yeah, that's probably the best way to go. Well, we could also just grab, like, almost nothing. Nah, this should be fine. This should be fine. Okay, let's see how the rotation plays out. Remember, there's zero cooldown on his super attack. Yeah, so he's launching it right away. But he can only do that super attack once per turn. So... that is very, very lucky for us that that's gone. We don't have to worry about it on this next, or for the remainder of the turn at all. So now we know we are not going to be seeing that revive proc here, which is very good. And then, yeah, this should be a pretty solidly damaging turn for the Tech UI, right? Just because he has a really big onslaught of attacks coming at him in slot 1 there. So on top of whatever super attack damage he can do here, all of these extra counters are going to do a lot more damage as well once we get to that point. Okay. Awesome. So we do the dodge and counter. Yes, there we go. We want to see as many critical hits as possible within these. That's obviously going to be a massive boost to the amount of damage that they do. But obviously all this free damage is nice regardless. There we go. Okay, perfect. And then, you know, another main thing that's going to be a really big kind of goal here is to get him below 50% HP so that we can use the LR God's active skill, because they're going to have a really, really heavy damaging active skill once we're to that point. Which, alright, yeah, it looks like even after this attack, he's already going to be below 50% HP. So now we might be talking about the conversation of next turn being the very last turn of the fight. Just depending how much damage we're able to do. Because, yeah, they are not done. They've still got more more attacks to come. And we still have an entire another unit on rotation that hasn't even attacked yet, right? Oh, yeah. Okay, well, yeah, it's definitely going to be GG's on the next turn then. They just did so much damage for us. Wowzer. And then I guess if we hadn't selected those same type orbs and remained below 50% HP, instead of bringing ourselves back up to that 62, we probably could have just KO'd right here, because they would have been below 50% to be able to proc their, you know, their active skill right away. And then with that extra damage from the active skill, it would have just been GG for sure. And then now, do we get one more? Oh, alright, well, it looks like it's going to be GG anyway. Holy moly. Okay, well, that was, dramatically easier than the Corroded Body and Mines mission. Oh my goodness. Yeah, one little try there, and we procced one of the domains. We didn't... Oh, I guess we did use the Rage Mode from the Beerus as well, and then we had the couple of active skills from the 6th Annie LRs, right? And that was basically it. We still had so much left in the tank. The LR God's active skill... we still had the potential revives that we could have done, and we didn't do anything with Jiren. We didn't even put him into standby, let alone get him into full power and stuff, right? So, yeah, we still had a lot more firepower left in the tank with that team, so that is really good. There we go. We get the no item mission cleared, and then we get our gold skill orbs for the Evolution Blue Vegeta and for the Int tag switch Goku Frieza. So let's go ahead and switch over to the Hidden Potential tab and equip our new skill orbs. Okay, so the orbs that we've got here for the STR Evolution Blue Vegeta, we've got the 9 defense, the 6 dodge and 6 defense here, and then a 6 crit, 6 additional for the gold slot. So yeah, I mean, this guy's gonna want as much defense as he can get. Obviously that is what his entire kit is built around, is just doing a million attacks and trying to build up his defense as high as possible within each turn. So all of these orbs are probably going to be quite serviceable for him, because he can also benefit from the extra additional because of all of the other attacks that he's going to be doing. Having a good balance of crit and additional in his kit is going to be helpful, right? He's not one of those units that was like begging for an additional super, because he can already do so many supers on his own without the Hidden Potential system additional. And because he does so many attacks per turn, that means that you don't really need to depend on having like level 30 additional to make sure that the Hidden Potential system additional is going to proc, right? You only need about like 10 or 12 points in there to where most of the time you're going to see it activate anyway. It will be nice, healthy to have a little bit of extra crit on him as well. That way you can see all the damage output that he's going to be doing go up with that. And then obviously he's not really a dodge-centric unit. I suppose if you really wanted to, you could just throw full dodge on him to hope for the best and give him at least a fighting chance against maybe getting locked in slot 1 or against AoE attacks, things like that. But overall, putting dodge in his kit is not really going to help him much. These raw defense and then, you know, a balance of crit and additional is definitely more what this unit is built around. So yeah, just keeping that in mind, I would say all 3 of these orbs are probably really good orbs to put on him. This is a very solid build for him. Unfortunately, though, I have not pulled him. That was the only anniversary LR I didn't get, so we won't be able to show off me putting the orbs on him in-game because I don't even have the character. So then let's go ahead and take a look at the tag switch Goku Frieza here. So same deal with them. Having the raw defense supports is going to be nice, I suppose. I am leaning more toward like the full dodge build for them. I definitely don't want to put this gold skill orb on them. I would probably just prioritize something more defensive, especially because like we're looking at additional attack, but then just straight up attack stat is not what you want to see from them, right? This is one of those funky units anyway that just kind of looks really meh, especially at the start of the fight. I'm just not too big a fan of using them in the first place, but I definitely prefer the defensive builds on them. So for now, let's go ahead and switch over to in-game and we'll apply at least the bronze and silver slots. And the gold slot doesn't really matter for me anyway because I don't have them at 79% to be able to access that yet. So that'll be a future discussion anyway. But there we go. Getting that extra defense and those extra points of dodge in there. Very, very nice. Going to help them look a lot better. And then before we finish up here, I do want to also jump over to the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Just because at the end of the Corona Body and Mind mission or video, I did apply the skill orbs I was going to apply to him, but we hadn't yet earned the silver one because we didn't do a no item run yet. So now that we have the silver one, we can go ahead and update this as well. And then now we've got all the orbs that we want on him. And that's exciting because I just got back one of my level 5 EX skill orbs for Earth Protecting Heroes, right? So that level 5 dodge will come in clutch against, you know, being able to use that with somebody else. So there we go. And then, yeah, I had already decided to not apply his gold skill orb. I think I prefer the full dodge build with him. So there we go. That is going to go ahead and finish it up for this one. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me. Don't forget to check out the links in the description below, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.